The key winds the clock's mechanism.
Granddaddy, you old fox.
The letter is written in German, but Gabriel determines what he can about it. It was sent from a place called Schloss Ritter in Rittersberg, West Germany. The letter is addressed to mein Sohn Heinz and signed Wilhelm Ritter. One of the reoccurring words strewn throughout the letter is the word Schattenjäger. The only other thing that Gabriel can decipher about the letter is a sense of urgency in the handwriting and in the heavy use of a quill tip, bold strokes and underlining. The back of the photo has the following written on it: Schloss Ritter, 1925.
Does this mean anything to you, Gran?
That one in the middle is your grandfather. Those other two, I don't know.
Does this mean anything to you, Gran?
No, dear. I'm afraid I don't speak a word of German.
Can we talk, Gran?
Of course, my boy. How can I help?
Have you ever heard of a Schattenjäger?
Schattenjäger? Schattenjäger? Oh, how odd, Gabriel. I haven't heard that word in years. My goodness, you've given me a chill. Your granddad used to say that sometimes in his sleep.
Really? Do you know what it means?
No, I'm afraid not. I asked him about it once. I don't think he answered me. Odd.
Huh. Thanks, Gran. Do you know anyone named Heinz Ritter?
Heinz Ritter? Oh, Gabriel. Where did you hear that name?
I found a letter in Granddaddy's clock.
Oh, I promised I'd never tell you or your father, but I suppose it doesn't matter now.
Tell me, Gran.
Your granddad's name was Heinz Ritter before he came to America. He changed it to Harrison Knight legally when he arrived.
Do you know anyone named Wolfgang Ritter?
Wolfgang Ritter? Oh, no, dear.
Huh. Odd.
As I said, your granddad's surname was originally Ritter.
Why did Granddad change his name?
I don't know. I tried to ask him about his family and his life before America, but he didn't want to talk about it. He never even told me about his name change. I found out one day when I saw his passport in a drawer. Since he obviously found it painful, I never questioned him about it. But I'm sure it wasn't trouble with the law. Your granddad was the best man I ever knew.
Oh, nothing. Never mind.
All right, dear.
Well, Gran, I'd better get going.
Take it easy on those women out there, will you, Gabe?
Women? You're my only girl, Gran. I knew you'd miss me, so I came back.
Really? I forgot you were gone.
Gabriel would rather use the phone in his studio for privacy.
Does this mean anything to you?
Sure, I'm the one that gave it to you, remember?
Got a minute, Grace?
What's up?
Have you ever heard of a Schottenjäger?
No. Is that a voodoo word?
I don't think so. It's German.
No, sorry. I don't speak German.
Could you do some research for me?
Sure, what?
Could you research Rada drums for me?
Rada drums? Sure. I don't think we have any books on that topic in the shop, but I'll contact our suppliers. Assuming any of them will extend you any credit.
Tell them it's an emergency.
Uh-huh. I can see where a Rada drum book would be incredibly urgent. Anything else?
I can't think of anything.
If you try to look down my shirt one more time, I'm leaving.
Just trying to refresh my memory.
I know what you're trying to refresh, and it isn't your memory. Get down.
Gabriel leafs through a German-English dictionary.
Drachen means dragons. I wonder if Mosley would know he was being insulted if I called him Drachen Breath.
Gabriel leafs through a German-English dictionary.
Besessen means possessed. That's handy to know.
Gabriel leafs through a German-English dictionary.
Spiel means game. Interesting.
Gabriel leafs through a German-English dictionary.
Spiel means game. Interesting. Didn't Grace say you had to dial 011 first to get international?
The number you have dialed has been disconnected. Please hang up and try your call again. This is a recording.
Guten Tag, Sie haben Schloss Ritter erreicht.
I'm looking for Wolfgang Ritter.
Ja, einen Moment.
Yeah, is this Gabriel on the phone?
This is Gabriel Knight. Why are you calling me, Mr. Ritter?
I've been having premonitions of great danger for you, Gabriel. You must leave New Orleans this very day.
What in the hell are you talking about?
It is hard to explain on the phone. I have had dreams about you. It took me a long time to have you tracked down. I knew that Heinz had a grandson, but until this dream started, I did not know if I should contact you.
You say you're related to my grandfather?
Heinz was my brother. There is much about the family that you should know. Come to Schloss Ritter in Rittersberg, West Germany. It is our family home. I will tell you everything when you come. You must come immediately. You are in great danger there.
Look, I appreciate the family spirit and all, but frankly, I don't know you from Adam. And I'm not going to fly off to Germany, even if I could afford it.
Gabriel, please. If you won't listen, at least let me send you something. It is a journal from one of your ancestors. Promise me you will read it. You are the last of our line. I'm too old to carry on. You are our last hope. Please, for your family, read the journal.
All right, I'll look at it.
Good. Now be careful, and come to me as soon as you can. Goodbye.
Well, it's about closing time.
So it is. Good night, Gracie.
Good night, Gabriel. And try not to dream, okay?
Hello?
It's me. I can't sleep.
Oh, me neither.
Can I...
Yes. Come.
Are you okay, Gabriel?
Sure. Great. Why?
I'm worried about you.
If I were any better, Grace, I'd be dead. Now what's up?
You got another package this morning. Overnight from Germany.
I was expecting that. Where is it?
Well, it kind of came open, but I salvaged the contents. There was a letter from your great-uncle Wolfgang and a journal.
The package just came open, huh? How'd you like the journal?
Someone has to look after you. You're in trouble, in case you didn't know it.
Yeah, you've been reading my horoscope again, haven't you, Grace?
Just read the journal carefully, Gabriel. Please.
I got it. St. George's books. Oh, Professor Hartridge. I'm glad you called. Did you? Oh, you did. You did. Oh, wait. Slow down. They agree. Really? You think that's them? A wheel within a wheel. Ogun agree, huh? Well, that does sound like it. Damballa, the snake. That's the wavy pattern at the bottom. Okay. The 1791 slave revolt in Santo Domingo? Well, why would the Veve show up there? Uh-huh. Okay. Look, I'll come over as soon as I can, okay? Relax, Professor. I'm excited too, but you're gonna give yourself a heart attack. Okay, thanks. See ya.
I wish you'd tell me what's going on. I swear you're gonna step into a hole you may never get out of.
Don't look so worried. No one knows what I'm doing. I'm perfectly safe, and I'm getting some great stuff for the book. Besides, there's something about all this. My dreams.
What about your dreams?
Oh, nothing. I'll be careful. I promise.
We got that book you ordered in this morning. The one on Rada drums.
Really? Great. Did you find out anything about that pattern I gave you?
Yeah, I did find something. I checked the microfiche at the public library. I found an article about a murder in 1810. The newspaper published part of a pattern found around the body. It looks damn close.
You're incredible. All that work.
Forget it.
Times dated June 22nd, 1993. Disgusted with the state of the voodoo murder case, Gabriel turns right to his horoscope. The shadow upon you is no longer reversible.
Wonderful.
Wolfgang's letter says,
Dear Gabriel, please read the enclosed journal carefully. It might help you understand your family's special obligations and our current predicament. God be with you. Uncle Wolfgang.
The letter is written in German, but Gabriel determines what he can about it. It was sent from a place called Schloss Ritter in Rittersberg, West Germany. The letter is addressed to mein Sohn Heinz and signed Wilhelm Ritter. One of the reoccurring words strewn throughout the letter is the word Schattenjäger. The only other thing that Gabriel can decipher about the letter is a sense of urgency in the handwriting and in the heavy use of a quill tip, bold strokes, and underlining. Gabriel reads through the pages Wolfgang marked. He reads of Gunther Ritter's journey to Charleston as a witch hunter, hired by the townsmen to solve a series of ritualistic murders. He reads about Gunther's meeting with the beautiful slave woman, Tetelo, and of Gunther's tormenting urges for her.
Poor bastard.
He reads of their physical union and passion, and of Gunther's investigation into the murders. The victims were all crew members on a certain slaving expedition to Africa, it seems. The second to the last entry describes Gunther's plan to set a trap for the coven committing the murders. He'd found a name on one of the surviving members of the crew, a man now living in the West Indies. Gunther has spread a false rumor that the man is returning to Charleston. He himself will impersonate a sailor and allow himself to fall into the hands of the coven. Naturally, Gunther has arranged for able-bodied assistants to follow and attack the coven before they can do him harm.
Ballsy son of a bitch, wasn't he?
Gabriel turns to the final entry of the journal. The book contains several pages of Rada drum codes. The newspaper clipping describes a ritualistic murder in Congo Square. It includes a rough sketch of a pattern found around the body. The sketch is very similar to the reconstructed Veve.
I'm out of here. Try not to sell out the store while I'm gone.
Uh-huh.
Gabriel isn't in the mood to give a lecture. The podium, Hartridge's throne. Gabriel isn't in the... Gabriel isn't in the... A projection screen dominates the front of the hall.
Hey, Hartridge, what's the good word? Hartridge? Ah! Oh, God, not again. He's looked better.
That would be up to the coroner.
I'm not touching that body.
Whatever Hartridge may have learned, he can't share it with Gabriel now. At least not vocally.
There must be something here about what Hartridge found out about that Veve.
This is a crime scene. Gabriel wants to disturb it as little as possible.
Hartridge's notes. This must be about the Veve.
This is a crime scene. Gabriel wants...
Nothing else looks related to my case. Nothing else looks related to my case.
This is a crime scene.
Nothing else looks related. Nothing else looks related. Nothing else looks related. Nothing else looks related to...
A wastebasket next to the desk is filled with crumpled paper. There's nothing of interest in the wastebasket.
Thank God Hartridge was a doodler.
Before leaving the university, Gabriel notifies campus security about Hartridge's body.
Hey there, girls.
The little girls stare at Gabriel, but say nothing to him.
Detective Mosley. Hard at work, I see.
Yeah. What is it, you wanker?
Can I ask you about some stuff?
You're the writer. Ask away.
There's been a murder.
What? What are you talking about?
Just listen. This guy's name is Hartridge. He was a professor in African Studies at Tulane. Well, yesterday I went to see him about the voodoo murders case. He agreed to do some research for me. He calls me up this morning, tells me he's on to something big, and when I get over there, the guy's dead.
People die, Knight. Was the guy's heart ripped out?
Well, no, but...
Then there's nothing to relate it to the voodoo murders case, which is closed anyway. The coroner will pick him up. If he asks for a homicide investigation, we'll do one. Otherwise...
But I'm the link to the voodoo murders case. Don't you see?
Look, if I were you, I wouldn't repeat that to anyone. Because if I weren't an old friend of yours, I might take you seriously and lock you up. As it is, maybe you should start keeping your mouth shut and not involve other people with this shit if you think it's so dangerous.
Crash is dead.
What? What are you talking about? I let him go yesterday.
Yeah, and I watched him die yesterday at St. Louis Cathedral.
At the cathedral? I guess he was trying to get a last-minute A-train ticket, huh? Poor bastard.
I think you should go find the body at the morgue. He was killed by the voodoo cult. Crash said...
Crash said? What, he mentioned pink elephants too?
Aren't you going to investigate?
Civilians. Did you actually see someone kill him?
No, actually I was with him when he died. Could have been poison, though.
Yeah, well, when they get the body in, they'll do a quick autopsy, standard procedure. If it's anything other than an overdose, I'll get a report.
How can I convince you to reopen the case?
I already told you. You prove that they're a threat. Get me a lead on the cult.
Have you ever called the Hair Club for Men?
I'd rather have no hair than your hair, Knight.
Well, I'll be seeing you.
Have a good one.
Gabriel decides to give Mosley a break and not change the temperature again.
Welcome, Seeker. You must be the one Dr. John called me about.
I guess so. My name is...
Wait! Gabriel Knight.
You're too quick for me.
Actually, Dr. John told me. You have come to the right place, Mr. Knight. Tell me how I can help.
A large, sluggish snake rests on the floor of the fancy bird cage. Apparently, Magenta is not a fastidious housekeeper. A shed skin shares the cage with its original owner.
Could I ask you a few questions?
Of course, Seeker.
What can you tell me about voodoo?
My practice is mainly selling charms and potions with magic power, such as gree-gree and voodoo oils. You know, everything from unrequited love to wandering spouses to winning a lawsuit. But my spells and charms are powerful, and they work.
What can you tell me about voodoo?
Much of a voodooienne's work is protecting her clients from the spells of others. I make special protective gree-gree to be worn in secret. They keep evil spells from working against my clients.
What can you tell me about voodoo?
The recipes for voodoo charms have been handed down from master to apprentice for centuries.
What can you tell me about voodoo?
I have told you all it is proper for you to know, Mr. Knight.
What do you know about the voodoo murders?
Why, that has nothing to do with me and my clientele. But I can tell you that you should stay as far from it as possible. There is badness there. Very bad.
So you don't think the voodoo aspects of the case are fake?
Fake? Let me tell you about fake. If I get information through the grapevine and make use of it, is that fake? No. That is part of a voodooienne's power. If people don't believe, there's not much I can do. But if they do believe, that is a part of my power too. But there are things, monsieur. Things not even a little bit fake, I can tell you. Believe it or not, but stay away from it.
What do you mean? Do you know something about the case?
I work hard on fine-tuning my spiritual antennae, Monsieur Knight. And I get a clear signal from that direction. Beware.
What can you tell me about Nolans?
Nolans is the center of voodoo practice in the United States.
What can you tell me about Nolans?
It is a fascinating city with many dark secrets.
What can you tell me about Nolans?
It is my favorite place in the world.
What's the significance of St. John's Eve?
St. John's Eve. It is the greatest night of the voodoo year. There is always a traditional conclave on St. John's Eve. Most of our voodoo churches these days hold functions in the church hall. But in the old days, they had ceremonies out in the wild. They wore animal masks and had a huge bonfire and dancing. I used to go when I was an apprentice. Sometimes in the swamp, you know, Bayou St. John. Sometimes at the lake, Lake Pontchartrain.
Do you know anything about snakes?
Snakes? You mean like my beloved Grimwald? She's a python, you know, quite deadly in the wrong hands. I was trained by one of the great voodoo queens to learn how to hypnotize and handle snakes.
Tell me more about snakes.
Oh, I wouldn't want to give away my trade secrets.
Do you have any idea what Cabri Sankar means?
No, I don't.
Do you know anything about Veves?
I don't know anything about that.
Do you know anything about Marie Laveau?
Oh, yes. She was the first of the great voodoo queens.
Tell me about the animal masks.
I saw them used once or twice when I was younger, but you don't see them much anymore. They're too close.
Too close to what?
Just bad karma.
Do you know anything about a secret voodoo houndful?
There are many voodoo churches in Nolans, no?
Yes, but have you heard of a secret voodoo houndful?
Wherever did you hear such a ridiculous story? There is no such thing.
Do you know anything about black voodoo?
It is the oldest, darkest heart of voodoo.
Do you know anything about black voodoo?
There are some things it's better not to know about, Monsieur Knight.
Does Ogun Badagri mean anything to you?
I don't know anything about that.
Have you ever heard of Dambala?
I don't know anything about that.
Have you ever heard the word Schattenjäger?
I don't know anything about that.
It's not that easy to get a message from the crystal ball. A large crystal ball is prominently displayed. The mask is made of carved wood and looks African. There's a chest in the corner that looks like a carnival machine. That doesn't work that way. That doesn't work that way.
Does this mean anything to you?
These are magical symbols. Deep magic.
Really? Have you seen them before?
No.
Then how do you know they're magic symbols?
Seeker, my eyes are unveiled to see truly that which is in front of me.
Uh-huh. Thanks, tons. Could I ask you a few more questions?
Certainly.
About Grimwald.
What about her?
How did you learn how to handle Grimwald?
I told you, a great voodoo queen taught me. She learned from Marie Laveau herself.
Uh-huh. Fascinating. Would you consider giving me one of Grimwald's scales?
No, I couldn't do that. You might do some gree-gree of your own, no? One must be very careful with such things. Hair clippings, nail parings, and snake scales.
How about showing me how you handle Grimwald?
Really? You would like to see me dance, perhaps?
That would be swell.
No matter what you see, do not be frightened.
I'll give it my best shot.
Gabriel grabs the shed snake skin while Magenta is otherwise occupied. The cage is currently empty.
There. Truly inspiring, isn't it?
That's certainly one word for it. Could I ask you a few more questions?
Certainly.
Give me an example of gris-gris.
All right. Here's an old one. Take a lodestone and some brimstone to a crossroads at midnight. Light the brimstone with a match. A spirit will come and give you advice in gambling.
Well, I guess I'll be going now.
As you wish. Do what you will, if it harm none.
Count on it. Hello, beautiful. It's me.
The excitement of seeing you is killing me.
Got a minute, Grace?
What's up?
How do you feel about Nolans these days?
I'd rather be anywhere else in the world right now.